Betty, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Lord, you can imagine where it goes from here.
Hello and welcome to Zedos Gang, podcast number 36. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Deadpool 2, Han Solo, A Star Wars Story, Pooh, Wedding Crashers 2, and more up in the Zedos Gang. How you doing today, Joe?
Recovering. Yeah, cold or some form of cold that has taken my voice away and has made it therefore very difficult to speak. I sounded like Agent Smith there. But I've been okay. Can't wait to get rid of this, whatever this version of the cold is. But yeah, other than that, haven't killed anyone this week, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yourself?
Well, yeah, I've been alright, man. I've been okay. Just same old, really. Anyway.
What's before we move on? What's the same old?
Just the daily working grind, man. Just working.
Just doing your thing.
Doing my thing.
Okay. I thought it was going to be something exciting like.
No, nothing exciting just yet. No.
Digging holes or something.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, so Kong Skull Island, Patriots Day, Beauty and the Beast, and Hidden Figures will start off with Kong Skull Island. Right, Kong Skull Island. Where are we? Sorry, folks. Okay, Kong Skull Island, directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts. I've never heard of this director. Who is this director?
Okay, it's directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts. He's done a lot of TV shows, mainly Funny or Die sketches. He did the TV show Mashup and Death Valley. And that's probably why you got John C. Reilly up in this trailer.
I was going to say, Funny or Die and Kong Skull Island doesn't seem to go.
Yeah, I know, but then he shows up. You know what? I quite enjoyed this trailer. I thought it was like totally not what I was expecting. It just seems like a nice, fun summer blockbuster movie, and like, you know, Kong just looks huge, man, in this. You know, he looks like as big as a skyscraper rather than climbing up them. You know, I like the other thing is the action just looks big.
You mentioned John,
scale.
Yeah,
and
you mentioned John C. Reilly, and I just noticed like 4 other people in this.
Oh yeah, of course, because like you've got Brie Larson coming off of Room up in here. You got Tom Hiddleston, Samuel Jackson. But you know what? I just think John C. Reilly has had the best lines in the whole damn trailer. You know, he's just stolen the show for me here.
Yeah, it's clearly the comedy relief.
Oh yeah, totally.
And you've got what's his face?
Yeah, John Goodman.
And there's another dude, Tony Kebbell.
Yeah,
Toby Kebbell.
That's right.
I didn't know he was in this. And I've watched this trailer quite a few times. But yeah, it looks. I was not interested in this film whatsoever, at all. Yeah. I was I don't care. And people were saying it was great, so I was like, okay, let's have a look at this, and it's surprisingly very good.
Yeah,
it's. I don't know. This shouldn't be good, but it is. I don't know. It's just me being a very cynical King Kong person, because Peter Jackson's King Kong, I liked it, but I can never watch it again.
Oh really?
It's just too long.
You know what? I'm the opposite. I love that movie. I think it's really good. I like what Jackson did with there. I actually like the original King Kong movie as well. really. I've liked both interpretations. This is just a completely different left field interpretation here. The only interpretation I never really liked was the 70s version with Jeff Bridges.
Really?
Yeah, I never really took to that one.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be graded as the worst.
Yeah, and it's bad. And then, you know what's even funny? There's a sequel to that.
No way.
Yeah, there was a sequel in the 80s and it's got Linda Hamilton in it. Yeah, straight out of Terminator with that same hairdo, 80s hairdo.
Oh,
and,
brilliant.
Yeah, that was a bad movie, man. They were both terrible movies, and Kong just looked like a guy in a suit. But this looks really fun. You know what I mean? It reminds me of what blockbusters should be. You know what I mean? Just big action, lots of fun, and let's have a good time at the movies with a big giant fucking gorilla, man. I'm in. Just the fact he just grabs 2 helicopters with his hands and smashes them. I was just like, wow. And even like some of the cinematography in this is kind of like, wow.
It's very colourful.
Yeah, it's very colourful. Really nice shots. You know, this guy's really experimenting here. And, you know, I've never seen Mashup and I've never seen episodes of Death Valley, but you know what I mean? If anything I've seen of his, I've seen his Funny or Die sketches, and this is a step up from them. Funnily enough, he's actually first choice to direct the Metal Gear Solid movie.
Was?
It's still on his IMDb. Just saying.
I can't see that ever being made.
Well,
there's too
many stuff going on behind the scenes, but you know, it'll be interesting to see what he does next after this film and whether this film's any good. But you know what, this trailer's an absolute buy from me. And like you said, Joe, you weren't really that interested in seeing it, but I could see this trailer turning a lot of people's minds. You know?
To be honest, as soon as John C. Reilly came on, I thought, oh, okay, I see where this film's going now.
Yeah. And he just added the fun.
Yeah.
He added the fun. You know what I mean? He added the fun, and you're like, okay, this is a fun ride.
The real reason I just couldn't see Tom Hiddleston as that kind of action star.
Yeah.
And that's
very different had it been someone like Michael Fassbender.
Even then.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender's a very different. I wouldn't call him okay, so if this film was made in the 80s or 90s, it would either have Schwarzenegger or Stallone or...
you know what, I'd say more Bruce Willis than Arnold.
Yeah, Bruce.
Yeah, this would be a Bruce Willis vehicle. No doubt about that. Maybe a Van Damme vehicle. Maybe. Only because of Time Cop.
Yeah, you're really pulling at strings now.
Well, yeah, I am really pulling at strings. I'm totally aware of that. I mean, like, it looks interesting, man. It looks interesting.
No, it does. It really does. And a lot of the visual effects look pretty cool as well. They're clearly not finished, but it looks really, really good. Yeah. I can say no more about this. Yeah, I look forward to see. I'm sure there's going to be another trailer to this, so
yeah,
we'll see what happens then. Right. Okay. So on to the next trailer, and that is
Patriots Day, directed by Peter Berg, the guy that did Battleship, Deepwater Horizon, Lone Survivor, The Rundown, The Kingdom, Hancock, Friday Night Lights, and Very Bad Things.
Okay, so. Very Bad Things is one of the films that's probably one of my favourite films of the early 2000s. That film is brilliant. Very Bad Things is... If you've not seen Very Bad Things, go watch Very Bad Things. It's still one of the most darkest comedies you'll ever see in your life. But this is a step in a very different direction for him. This is what would you call this? What would you call this kind of drama? Real event drama. In the sense that it was based on a real event.
I'd call it a thriller.
Well, yeah, but it's based on a real event, so real event drama.
Is that a thing now? I've never heard that term. This is the first time I've heard that term, Joe.
It's not a term that anyone uses. I'm just saying it's a real event drama. It's because it's based on a real event.
Yeah, but they say that on horror movies as well.
Okay. Anyway, this is based on the gosh, what event was it now? The Boston Marathon. Yes, in 2013, and it was a terrorist attack that happened right at the end of the race, I believe. It's about the situation that was caused by them looking off the whole town and them going house by house, trying to find the bomber, which I'm guessing is going to make for a very good thriller, as Sach says. I'm looking for. I like these type of films. It's good to see Kevin Bacon back on the screen again. I love Kevin Bacon, and so this looks absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to see this. Sach.
Yeah, it looks quite good. I mean, like I see he's working with Mark Wahlberg again. Because obviously he did with Deepwater Horizon and Lone Survivor. Be interesting to see what they do with this film. I mean, Peter Berg's always been a very diverse kind of filmmaker. I mean, like Very Bad Things and Friday Night Lights, completely different from stuff like The Rundown and The Kingdom. Even I'd say this is more in tune with The Kingdom than anything he's done. So
yeah, The Kingdom looks like a Ridley Scott film.
It does. It's actually produced by Ridley Scott.
Yeah,
if I remember. So that's probably why it has a certain aesthetic, because Ridley probably had some say in, like, what he did to improve it. But this guy, Peter Berg's been around for ages as an actor and as a director, and it's good to see that he's trying different things. And looks like him and Mark Wahlberg working together. They've done consecutively for the past 3 films, and looks okay, man.
I can't really say any more about it, really. That's Patriots Day, and yes, on to the next trailer. Okay, Hidden Figures. A team of African women provide NASA with important mathematical data needed to launch the program's first successful space mission. And this stars. This is directed by Theodore Melfi. Again, not heard of him. And Sach.
Oh, Theodore Melfi. Yeah, he directed St. Vincent with Bill Murray. Really good film. This is his second film. He's done a lot of short films, and I quite enjoyed St. Vincent. I don't know whether you know, that was one of my favourite films of 2013, I think, or 2014. Really good little movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's got, what's her name, Melissa McCarthy in there, playing a very different role than her usual, in-your-face kind of, take names and faces kind of thing. But, yeah, this film looks really good. I'd imagine it'd be quite well crafted, just like St. Vincent was, and it'll be interesting to see what Theodore does next. I mean, he's got a very good subject matter to it as well, and I'm interested to see this, just based on the director.
It seems like America's gone back to reversed its policy, its civil rights policy by 30 or 40 years because of who they've got as president now. And this movie looks like it's coming out at the right time, just to tickle that hey, remember what this used to be when certain people couldn't do certain things. This will be a good reminder that no matter where you come from, man, woman, child, black, white, Hispanic, green, orange, you should be able to, if you're qualified to do the job, you should be able to do the job. And this is quite an inspiring film, especially for someone like myself, who's had. I'm a graphic designer, and I've had a bit of trouble getting some jobs here and there sometimes, and I don't know if that's to do with skin color, but from my from what I get from certain interviews, that's what happens, and so this movie is, again, coming out at the right time. We've got America's got a really unique president at the moment, and I hope this makes enough noise to say that we can't go back to that. And that's how uniquely important I think this film is. And again, you've got Octavia Spencer in this film, who won an Oscar a couple of years ago, and this looks like a powerhouse. Oh, and secondly, it's got music done by Pharrell Williams of the Neptunes. If I'm a big fan of those guys, so I'll be looking forward to listening to the soundtrack as well. Okay, on to the next film, and Beauty and the Beast, and I'm just going to go into what I like about this trailer. I'm not going to go into the details. Okay, so what I like about this trailer is that they've done a live action version of the cartoon. It looks like the cartoon. All the aesthetically looks like the cartoon. It's everything about it looks fantastic. Even Emily Watson. I don't think she looked the part of Belle, but having watched the trailer now and seeing her in this, she does look the part. Even the ballroom scene that you see in the cartoon or the animated film looks nearly spot on. The only I would say that if this was not this, because there's a French version of this film as well, and the French version of this film looked like it had a really good aesthetic and was quite a darker version of this tale. But again, I see the way what Disney are doing with this. They're just making the cartoon but in live action, which is always good. If I had not seen this film, if I had not seen the animated cartoon, I would have thought it would have been a little corny. But I can't. It looks the part. Even Gaston looks brilliant. So that's all I really have to say about it, Sach.
Yeah, I mean, like, Disney kind of like, I think that's the whole point with like Disney's new live action films. They're just trying to imitate the success of their animated classics. Some of them going a slightly different way with them. This looks pretty spot on to like the original and stuff. Bill Condon's done a good job in recreating all of that aesthetic right there. And like, he's, for people that don't know his filmography, he did Gods and Monsters, Dreamgirls, Kinsley with Liam Neeson, the last two Twilight films, and Mr. Holmes with Ian McKellen, who's also in this. He voices the Clock, Cogsworth. So yeah, I mean, like, it's got a fantastic cast. I mean, Ewan McGregor's in there, Emma Watson, Dan Stevens is playing the Beast. I actually didn't know that, because obviously you can't see Dan Stevens in this trailer. Well, you see him in this trailer, but he's a beast. But, you know, I always liked him from The Guest. And Luke Evans looks the part as Gaston, man. He looks just like the cartoon, and like he's given all that flair there. I mean, like, it looks really good and looks really spot on. Be interesting to see whether it's a hit, because I know these Disney ones have been hit and miss for me. Like, I wasn't a fan of Maleficent, definitely wasn't a fan of Alice in Wonderland, but Jungle Book was spot on. Jungle Book was wicked. If they can continue, and Cinderella as well. Kenneth Branagh and Cinderella was really good and well executed as well. And this looks kind of like more, it's leaning towards like Jungle Book and Cinderella here. So, you know, hopefully Bill Condon's got it good here, and we'll see what happens. So.
One question: the flower in the glass jar. Yeah. What does that represent again?
I really can't remember. To be honest, I've only seen Beauty and the Beast a handful of times, and mainly when I was very young. I haven't got it on Blu-ray yet to revisit, so you know, I couldn't tell you what that was. I mean, like, growing up with me around that era of Disney, I was mainly watching Aladdin and Lion King. Those were my go-to choices.
Okay, yeah, I never really grew up with Disney films, as I keep mentioning on the podcast, but this was one of the films that I saw, and Lion King as well. And so in terms of what I remember from the animation, it's spot on, absolutely spot on. And so yeah, as you said, once we'll find out if Condon did a good job on this. When does this come out? Next year.
Next year, yeah.
So yeah, it's a Disney film. This is a beloved property, and I think when the trailer hit, it was like the I think this is the most watched trailer ever since I think the last one was
Force Awakens.
It wasn't. It was the other
it
one.
not?
No, The Force Awakens was, and then it was. Oh my gosh, what's the film that came out last February with the?
50 Shades of Grey.
That's it. Yeah, there was that. Now it was this.
How the hell did that movie get like watched so many times?
I don't know. Who knows?
Just don't get it.
Who knows? Okay, so Deadpool 2. And Deadpool has had quite a few. Deadpool 2 has had quite a few hitches recently, having the director leave and Tim Miller, and the composer leave as well. And now it's getting the director, well, one of the directors of the John Wick films, and that to me is, I think, is spot on in terms of the type of feel that guy will bring to it. If you've not seen John Wick has got that same animated action feel that Tim Miller brought to the first film. So as far as I'm concerned, they've struck gold getting that guy. So I can't remember the guy's name. I didn't write it down. There you go. Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant that they managed to get this guy. So in my eyes, I've already said that. Yeah, my eyes. This film's planned to come out in 2018. So I'm sure this guy can film it backwards and get it done before that. And yeah, I hope things go to schedule in January of when I think this thing's going to film. And there are no more arguments, and they need a new composer, so which I'm sure will be easy to fill. Junkie XL was good, but I can't remember a theme to that or anything, so it wasn't that good. But yeah, it's good news. What do you think, Seth?
Yeah, I think he's more than capable enough about doing this film. I mean, like, you know, it's kind of technology driven, but he's been a second unit director on loads of films, including the Matrix trilogy, more recently Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the current incarnations of them, the Wolverine, Jurassic World, Ninja Assassin, Speed Racer, Escape Plan. You know, he's been in the biz quite a long time, and mainly as a stunt coordinator or a stunt man. You know, he's been around since the 1980s and stuff, and he's worked on loads of films like from 300 to Troy to Fight Club. You know what I mean? Like, he's been about even V for Vendetta and Mortal Kombat. So he knows what he's talking about in terms of action and also directing CGI as well. I think that's kind of key for Deadpool in terms of what Tim Miller had to bring to the table with Deadpool. So be interested to see how and what he does. I mean, John Wick is a good choice for someone's first film. You know what I mean? This is his first proper film going solo. So I'll be interested to see what he brings to the table to the world of Deadpool and, you know, the world of mutants and stuff. So, because we've only ever seen that lens flare through the eyes of Bryan Singer and a select few, you know. And I felt Tim Miller's take was unique and different for the X-Men universe, and really hit the nail on Deadpool and how Deadpool should be. And hopefully if they use that, considering that Ryan Reynolds wants to go the same route with the sequel, hopefully that first film will be a nice blueprint for David Leitch to, you know, follow through, you know, and do what he does best in terms of the action and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and in terms, as you said, action-wise, yeah, I think you've nailed it on the head, because I would never have thought of any of those two directors before, just because they just weren't in my. They weren't in my.
He's actually Keanu Reeves' stunt double for the Matrix film.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, he looks kind of like him, I just would never have thought of them up until John Wick anyway. Hopefully there'll be no more disputes. Hopefully that's the thing. They may have the director, but they still not make the director and Ryan Reynolds still may not see eye to eye on a few things, and so if they get their relationship sorted, then they should just be able to start filming without a hitch. Do you know who's returning for this?
Not just yet, no.
So do you, who was the little girl, the girl in it, the Megasonic Teenage Warhead?
Oh yeah.
Is she coming? I guess there's no listing for any.
No one knows just yet. It's
okay.
not been confirmed yet.
I really hope they bring her back because I think she was a great addition to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd never heard of her before, but just because she was the back and forth between Deadpool and her, she was like that dry.
Yeah.
Teenage girl. He was like, yeah, I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say this, and this, and they just worked with each other so well. And Colossus. Who was playing Colossus in that? Or was it a bunch of different people? Because I understand the CG
It was even the director himself as well.
Yeah,
it was a combination of things. Funny thing with Colossus on Deadpool, they offered the guy that played Colossus in the X-Men trilogy to come back, but they did say, look, we're doing it completely CGI because Tim Miller wanted Colossus to look like the comic book Colossus. He was like, I don't want to do it like the movies, I want to do what I grew up with.
Yeah. And
he offered him the chance to do the motion capture, and the guy was like, okay, and he goes, I want you to have a Russian accent because Colossus is Russian, and he was like, so basically I won't sound like me, I won't look like me, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want to do it because it didn't look like him or sound like him.
That's ridiculous.
Which is a ridiculous move because that's, he would have done the character justice
yeah,
for the first time. But, for what they did with Colossus, I felt that it was really good, what they did, and I felt it was the best version of Colossus I've ever seen on screen. No offense to the guy from X-Men.
Well, no, but he did that. Colossus didn't do anything.
Well, yeah.
He didn't do anything.
Just there.
Yeah.
He was just there.
This Colossus did more than I've ever seen him do in any of those films.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
I going back to the whole motion capture thing, everyone's doing it now.
Yeah. Even Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch, they didn't have someone cast as the villain in Doctor Strange. What's his name? Dormammu.
Dormammu.
Okay, they didn't have anyone cast as Dormammu, and Cumberbatch was like, I'll do it, because he found it fun doing that stuff on The Hobbit, because he was the dragon in The Hobbit. Mm-hmm. And, I think motion capture actually opens the doors for a lot more actors to do their stuff.
Well, this is
it just depends on people's egos.
That's what Kiefer Sutherland said. He said that when he was doing that whole stuff for Metal Gear, he said he saw a whole load of shit that he's never seen before. Yeah. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
And he said that's the way forward. If Kiefer Sutherland can see it, then everyone else should. I mean, what's his name? Who did Smeagol? Not Smeagol.
Oh, Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis. He's been doing it for years.
Well, yeah. Well, he's the best in the biz when it comes to that. He more or less co-invented that shit. You know?
To a degree.
Fair enough. Like George Lucas did. Let's be fair. George Lucas did with Ahmed Best with the Phantom Menace, because Jar Jar Binks was the first Sin-Thespian, but Peter Jackson and Andy Serkis really took that technology and brought it to the next level in terms of performance, because that Smeagol stuff when he talks to himself, especially when he's looking at himself in the lake, that's just like Oscar gold right there in terms of performance and everything else there. And I mean, like, it's become, that thing has become quite a big tool in Hollywood. And I remember when it was getting bashed left and right the year before because of the Star Wars film, because Jar Jar didn't work out the way Lucas had envisioned it.
But that's the thing, the character did work out because the plot, it fit in with everyone, it interacted with people.
It did.
But it was the character.
It was the character and the writing. I mean, like, you know what, I'll say this about the Phantom Menace. I mean, like, you know what, now it's under Disney. I mean, like, had that been under Disney, they would have got their top A writers involved and actually made that character work. You know what I mean? Like, because the whole point of him was supposed to be one of those Disney characters, like Donkey from Shrek or Genie from Aladdin, that kind of thing. With a decent script, that guy would have worked, but, you know, because George didn't get anyone to go write those films with him. Well, he did and he didn't.
Well, he did towards episode 3, didn't he?
No one co-wrote it with episode 3, but he got someone in for Attack of the Clones.
Really?
Yeah, he did. He got the guy that wrote Mummy Returns, which was probably a bad move.
It was a really bad move.
That was a really bad move. You know,
his writing clearly got better in episode 3, because episode 3, I would say episode 3 is the best. I don't
know about that.
It's the better one out of all 3 of them.
It is the better one out of, that's a separate conversation here. Sorry to nip this in the bud kind of here, but I got a very strong opinion about the prequels, especially when it comes to episode 3. And this conversation could could take a really big tangent. I really want to go there right now, but we can save that for another podcast. But
so Deadpool 2.
But yeah, Deadpool 2. Sorry, Deadpool 2. I mean, I mean, like, motion capture for Colossus was fantastic. We'll see what they do, and yeah, cool.
Okay, to the next story, and that is Star Wars Han Solo. And Game of Thrones star Emily Clark has joined the cast of Han Solo anthology film. And yeah, we don't know what she's playing, but...
Is there anyone from Game of Thrones that isn't in the new Star Wars film? I mean, like, you got Gwendolyn Christie, you got one of the Star Boys, you got... Man, Sean Bean in Star Wars, how has that not happened? Even back in the olden days.
I really don't know.
How was he not Qui-Gon Jinn?
I can't. Liam Neeson could pull it off.
Oh yeah, of course Liam Neeson could pull it off, but that just would have been another death scene for Bean, man.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, yeah, very true. But yeah, I'm sure you'll get Bean in one of these films one day.
Yeah,
there's just no way that you can't have Sean Bean in a Star Wars film.
Yeah,
and to be honest, he's probably in episode 7 as something.
Yeah, just as something.
Yeah, but yeah, you're still not sure about this. How you don't even want there to be.
I don't want this film to happen, but it's not about what I want. It's happening whether I like it or not. Look. Let me talk about this. Look, I've seen Young Han Solo. It's cool. 4, 5, and 6. Do I really want to know where Han Solo came from? I mean, like, look, before like Disney turned the EU into Legends now, and like we know he's a stormtrooper. We know he won the Falcon off of Lando Calrissian from a game of Sarbark. I don't need to say, we know he like rescued Chewbacca from like what's it, Kessel and Wookiee slavery and shit. But I don't need to see the movie of that. Keep the mystique. Keep the fucking mystique about it, especially to someone like Han Solo. I don't need an origin story for fucking Han Solo and Chewbacca. You know what I mean? But you know, someone at Disney or Lucasfilm have like went, well, he's the most popular character, maybe we can make this into a franchise or something. Fair enough, I'll give it its dues or whatnot, but what I love about these anthology films, if I don't like it, I don't have to watch it. So, you know what I mean? Or even like watch it again, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like if it's the saga films where it's like, this is the story. You know what I mean? Like it or lump it, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's the way I'm going into it. If it's amazing, I'll eat my hat and like be like, cool, you guys...
Is it the Russo brothers that are...
No. It's not the Russo block. It's the Lego people. Miller and...
I can't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I know you're talking about. I think they'll do well with this.
Hopefully, we'll have to see.
There's another question I want to ask you about this.
Yeah.
People keep going on about young Chewbacca, but we've already seen young Chewbacca. He was in episode 3.
Yeah.
So, and he looks the same.
Exactly. He's not going to look that different. He's what, 170 in the
film? Yeah.
Look. People, shut up about the Wookiee shit, okay? Because like, he's a fucking alien. All right. He's a fucking alien. Who goes, and no one cares. Lord and Miller, yes.
Yeah,
the one saving grace. It's been written by the Castans. It's written by Lawrence Kasdan and his son John Kasdan. Lawrence Kasdan, if you guys don't know, he wrote The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Force Awakens, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and everything great at Lucasfilm. And you know what? Lawrence Kasdan can go no wrong because he knows how to write for Harrison Ford. Okay?
Yeah, he does.
He co-created Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? Yeah, he did. But you know what? I mean, at least we know the dialogue's going to be great for the character. If anyone can do it, Kasdan can do it. And yeah, we'll have to see what Lord and Miller do, really. Eldon Ehrenreich, I like him. I don't know whether he's hot. I'll have to see a trailer to judge. You know what I mean?
He's clearly impressed him to some degree.
Yeah, of course. And I'm not dissing the man because I've seen him in other stuff and he's a really good actor. I liked him in the Coen Brothers film.
It might be uncanny, you know, the thing he did. It might be just, oh my god, is that Harrison Ford?
Yeah, I mean, like he was in Hail Caesar, he's in Blue Jasmine and shit, Running Wild, and he's quite a versatile actor and stuff. It's just, you're recasting Harrison Ford here, and it's just a real fucking hard thing to do, especially when he's playing the same character, not a different interpretation of the character, because this is supposed to sandwich in to the universe kind of thing. And I think that's the big thing, you know what I mean? And considering, when is it set? Because we can't have, if it's set around the same time as A New Hope,
I don't think so.
I hope not, because it's, that's too close to the nail there.
Yeah, I think it'd be at least 10 years before that.
10 years before sounds nice. I could buy 10 years before, but...
Because the way he knows how to use the Millennium Falcon, it means that he's had it for a long time.
Yeah. It's like it's his baby. I mean, look, Donald Glover, I believe he could do Han Solo in his sleep. He's that versatile, and he kind of looks a little bit like Billy D.
Once you put the aesthetics on it.
I can totally see Donald Glover as Billy D. Williams. No problem.
Billy D. Williams doesn't think that.
Yeah, Billy D. Williams doesn't feel that. But if we had it Billy D's way, he'd be like, CGI me, motherfuckers, I'm game. And I got no problem with that. But that costs like a lot of money, and that's not going to happen.
I think the exact price is $1 kajillion.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see. I mean, who else is in this flick? I mean, Emilia Clarke. That's the big thing. She's been cast. They're going to start filming very soon.
Yeah, but who do you think Emilia Clarke plays?
She could be anything. I don't know who she plays.
Do you reckon she's Han Solo's wife?
No, because she's black.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, Han Solo's what, and it's not a real marriage anyway. It's a marriage.
Yeah. So it's a fake one. Yeah.
For all those people listening and not knowing about the Star Wars continuity now, he has a wife that's black, Sana Solo. Don't worry, it's not a love thing. It's definitely not a love thing. But no, it'll be interesting to see if she's in there. It'd be very interesting to see if she's in there. Because the Han Solo comic book is supposed to be really, really good. I've not read it because Marvel have released one recently, and funnily enough, it's been given George Lucas's seal of approval. He says it's the best expanded universe thing ever written.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So personally, I like that Darth Vader comic that Marvel got going at the moment. That's just ended. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
But I would have liked to have seen a film of that, to be honest. But I think people are Darth Vadered out from Anakin Skywalker's descent. But
I just think that era of Star Wars we need to move on from that.
You mean we need to move on from the OT?
Yes.
Yeah.
We really do need to move on from. I mean,
I think we will. I think the next couple of films they announce. I'm expecting an Obi-Wan movie.
I am as well.
And I think that will be great because that's what people want. I think that's the one people want more than anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How someone at Disney hasn't taken Liam Neeson's like marquee and just done a Qui-Gon movie, I don't know, because I'd be interested in seeing something like that.
I would like to see
especially
a
done
movie
like
as well.
as an action movie taken kind of style. That would be awesome. You know what I mean? Like you can just picture it. Like he's just going from one place of the galaxy to other, mingling with people like Jabba the Hutt with his fucking mind tricks and lightsabers and shit, but busting down doors and stuff. Because he's not a clean cut Jedi. You know what I mean? He's definitely on the edge. And you know, I know Christopher Lee's dead, but you can have like a hologram cameo, you know, like Yes Master, 3 bags full kind of like thing. And yeah, man, I would totally like to see a Qui-Gon movie done as an action movie. Get Michael Bay to direct it.
Yeah, wow, that'd be interesting. Okay, so next story, Winnie the Pooh. Okay, so Disney's doing the live action thing again, but with Winnie the Pooh. And
is it Disney?
And, yeah, it's Disney.
Yeah, okay.
It was from what I can see, and that news is from Screen Rant. So if Screen Rant's wrong, then I'm wrong. Okay, so yeah, Disney are doing the live action treatment to Winnie the Pooh, and it has a director, and it's Mark Forster.
Mark Forster. What I thought was really funny about all the headlines and some of the feedback was like, oh, they got the World War Z director to direct it.
So?
What does he know about Winnie the Pooh? There's going to be zombies and violence and stuff. He's not a match. You guys are idiots.
He's a director.
You guys are idiots. Have you
What do directors do?
Have you seen his filmography?
No, that's not the point.
Yeah,
what do directors do? They direct a script.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know what? He did Gods and Monsters, Dreamgirls. No, I'm getting him mixed up with Bill Condon, which I said. Sorry, I had my notes with what he's directed. But give me a sec. Mark Forster. Okay, Monsters Ball, Finding Neverland. You know what? One of my all personal favourites, Stranger Than Fiction. It's this film with Will Ferrell. And,
yes. That's brilliant.
No man, someone's narrating his life.
Yeah,
and
that's
an
brilliant.
actual book. And then the author of the book decides to kill the character off, and he could hear her reading the book. He's like, "What? You're gonna kill me off? What the fuck's going on?" Lee thinks he's going insane.
Yeah,
that's a fantastic fucking movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. The Kite Runner, Quantum of Solace, or Quantum of Bullshit, as I call it, because that's the worst James Bond movie since Die Another Day. Machine Gun Preacher, and yeah, World War Z. I mean, like, you know what? That's quite an impressive filmography that's quite versatile, very different from each other. Stranger Than Fiction's definitely nothing like James Bond, and Finding Neverland's like an Oscar contender.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's a good
same
film.
with The Kite Runner. The Kite Runner's a really good film. So, you know what? He's doing a Pooh movie. Good for him. You know what? He's, this is straight up his alley. In fact, this is him going, fuck action movies, because I quite clearly can't direct a Bond movie. And that's not his fault.
That was a script.
Well, it was the script, but I don't know. Machine Gun Preacher, I actually haven't seen.
I haven't seen that either.
I haven't seen. I've heard a lot of people say that it's all right. And you know what? I actually didn't mind World War Z.
I thought World War Z was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It was nothing like the comic book, but it was an okay movie.
Well, considering how much trouble that film was in, I think.
Oh, he got fired off it.
Oh right, so he wasn't the one that picked it up.
No.
Oh right, okay.
He got fired off it.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. So.
Simon Pegg's in that film, isn't he?
I don't know. Is he?
I think he is. He just shows up, and he's telling.
I'm pretty sure that's the George Romero one, that Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead, or one of the Dead films that Romero did after.
Might be right.
Afterwards, because Simon Pegg's on the poster.
Is he?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Let's find out. Well, yeah, I consider. Look, as far as I'm concerned, live action Winnie the Pooh, it was bound to happen. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that will translate well?
It could do. Depends how they go about it.
If there's one request I would have with that, is that they get the. Did you ever see AI?
Yeah, I saw AI.
Do you know the little robot bear that they had?
Yeah.
The animatronic one. I want them to do it like that, because that I want one of those things, because that thing moved around like it was a real thing that Stan Winston Studios made, and it was awesome. You could get it to climb, you could get it to run and walk and do all kinds of stuff, and that was awesome. They should do Winnie the Pooh like that. Yes, do Winnie the Pooh like AI. And I can't see Simon Pegg's name here.
Diary of the Dead.
Diary of the Dead. Okay.
Diary of the Dead.
Okie dokie. Well, let us know if any of you guys listening are looking forward to a Winnie the Pooh movie. I sure as hell not. but yeah, if you guys are, let us know. It'll be good to see people's insights into that. But yeah, okay, on to the next film topic. Even Wedding Crashers 2. So Isla Fisher, that was in the first one, said that she was speaking to Vince Vaughn, and Vince Vaughn said that they're working on Wedding Crashers 2. And so this is hearsay. But it's hearsay from the horse's mouth. So do you think there's any credibility to this?
I hope not, because I love Wedding Crashers. It's a great standalone movie about two jerks that crash weddings and pick up chicks. It's a great, hilarious movie. I think it's really good, but I don't want to see a sequel to this. I like them and I like Owen, and I like who else is in there?
Isla Fisher?
No, not her. I've forgotten his name now. I was just drawing a blank. You just said
Vince Vaughn?
Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson. I love them as a double team combination. I like how they did a string of movies together. You know, Old School, this, all of those guys, okay, were really, really funny and really, really good.
Bradley Cooper's in there as well, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah. And Christopher Walken. I don't want to see a sequel to this. I want to see them just do more movies. Good movies. You know what I mean? How about you guys stop cashing in on shit that worked and making them bad, and just make a good movie? That's literally all I've got to say about Wedding Crashers 2. You ended it, they got married, happy ever after. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, there's no possible way they could do Wedding Crashers 2, in my eyes.
It'll be like what they did this year with
Ghostbusters.
No, not Ghostbusters. What's that Zac Efron, Seth Rogen film that came out? Bad Neighbours 2.
Right.
What piece of shit? You said everything you needed to say in the first one, and the second one was it's like a Shrek film where the first one's amazing, and now we just got a load of funny gags that we don't know what to do, so we'll just make some stupid, absurd excuse why these characters would meet and team up again, because it made no sense. From a story standpoint, they were really scraping the barrel there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was real dumb. Real dumb. That film was real dumb. That's my review of Bad Neighbours 2. Real dumb, don't watch it.
Okay, so...
But this, guys, you guys are totally hey, we don't know what to do with our careers, so let's make a real dumb decision. Don't do it, guys. Make something great. Just make something great. Just figure something new.
What do you think of because comedy movies in general are very hard to pull off, in the sense of once you've struck gold once, it's very hard to strike gold twice. I would say the Austin Powers. I like the Austin Powers series.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's people would argue with you that the second one may not be as good as the first one, or the third one isn't as good as the second one.
Yeah.
But I like all of them. Yeah. As far as he reuses the same gags, but he does it in an original way. It's very hard to go for one specific gag, but you go into that movie because you want it to be recognizable. It knows what it is, and it knows it's spoofing a spoof. Yeah. It's with Wedding Crashers 2. There's what more could you say? As you said, they got married.
Yeah.
And I don't know what.
Like both guys got married. I mean, like, just
unless things went really bad, they got divorced and.
Look, they get divorced, and you know what? I got it. They get divorced, and Christopher Walken's pissed, so he gets the shotgun out, and they run into a wedding, and they're trying to hide from Christopher Walken the whole time. There we go.
That sounds like a Warner Brothers cartoon.
That sounds so ridiculous. That may as well be the movie.
That'll probably get made.
I know, that's the worst thing.
That'll probably get made, man. So do not tempt Hollywood. Never tempt Hollywood. Okay,
does that film even? Yeah, it does. I just saw a $40 million budget, made $285 million worldwide.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Of
You
course
know
they
what
want to make
I mean, like the director doesn't need to do it. Actually, maybe he does. I mean, like he did The Judge.
Oh, is that the?
The Robert Downey Jr.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, yes, I don't know what to say about that. But
I know, man. I don't think going back to like. No, hang on, wait. He's done more than The Judge. Wait, what's he done? David Dobkin did something recently. That's where he did the Muppet movies.
Oh, did he?
This guy don't need help. Oh no, he does. He didn't. I'm getting mixed up with someone else. Yeah, he hasn't directed anything since The Judge. And he's just doing TV shows. In fact, he's not doing much of anything.
Wasn't The Judge last year?
No, The Judge was in 2014.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, jeez, that's a long time for a director not to be doing anything.
Yeah, unless he's actually doing something.
I freaking hope so.
Yeah. Okay, well, there we go. David Dobkin needs work. There'll probably be in Wedding Crashers too.
Well, well, again, hope you find some work, buddy.
Yeah. Cool story, bro.
Yeah, so, okay, on to the next topic, and that is Stargate reboot is on hold, probably indefinitely, it seems. So, director Roland Emmerich's planned Stargate movie reboot trilogy has fallen off the tracks, and I think that's due to how Independence Day Resurgence performed and was received, because it performed okay.
What film?
Anyway, it performed okay.
There was an Independence Day 2. When did this happen?
Resurgence.
Wow. I saw the film. It sucked balls, man. It really did. It was terrible.
Do you know what? It started off well. It just in terms of these ships are bigger.
Yeah.
What the hell are we gonna do? That's a part of the. That wasn't executed well at all. At all.
Yeah.
Because I think they should have, if they were gonna do something like, if they were gonna play that card again. It was executed wrong. That's the only thing I can say. Because it just turned into a Warner Brothers cartoon after that. It went from, this is what happens here, this is what happens here, this is what happens here, and there was no consequence to what was going on. And the president just, spoilers, whoever cares, the president just dies. Why would you just sacrifice? I know he was having issues, but that wouldn't drive him to leave his freaking daughter. Okay, your mother's dead. I'm gonna blow myself up because I have to.
It was a mess, man. It was a mess. Well, it was good. It was good that Jeff Goldblum got work and got work out of it.
He was the best thing in that.
And got work out of it because since he's done that, he's had a career resurgence. He's in Thor: The Dark World. Rumours about a Jurassic Park return.
Yeah, I hope that's true.
You know what? Man's got. You know what? If there's one plus side to that travesty, we got Jeff Goldblum back in movies. So that's all I got to say about Independence Day 2. In terms of Stargate, there's a lot of SG-1 fans that are going to be crying and rejoice there because they didn't want to see that continuity messed up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They didn't want that because I think the thing is with SG-1, it continues on off that original movie.
Yeah,
sure, it's with the different cast and stuff. And I like that original movie. It's a great movie.
I've never seen it.
Mate, check it out.
David Spader's in that, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Jeez, he looks so different in that.
Yeah, David Spader, Kurt Russell. It's a really good, fun movie. You know what Independence Day 1 was? That's what Stargate was. It was like, you know what I mean? It was like Independence Day just felt like the natural progression from that movie for a director like Emmerich.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck Independence Day Resurgence is like, but look, considering the guy's track record, what's it? 1000 BC, this, The Day After Tomorrow, what else was there? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Look. That's the kind of Stargate we would have got. I don't think anyone would have been up for that.
He's in the place that Michael Bay's in at the moment, because from what I can see, Michael Bay can direct a very good first film, and then.
Well, it's not even that. It's all about script writing and whatnot.
Sure,
that's what it is. But
I reckon they should have given that to someone else. Rowan Emmerich should have taken hey, this is what I would have done. Take it under advisement and given it to someone new.
Yeah.
Who would have been able to, I think, done the actions. Even Bay.
Yeah.
I would love to see his Independence Day, because the action scenes would be a lot better than what we saw. Because it just felt empty, that film. Yeah. Anyway, Stargate. I've never seen Stargate. To Stargate fans, you said they will rejoice in the streets.
Yeah, they're rejoicing in the streets right now. Look, where's Leo? We needed Leo on this podcast just to go.
Is he a Stargate fan?
Oh man, Leo's a big Stargate fan. I feel the need to ring him up and put him on speakerphone just to chime in.
Actually, go ahead.
Shall I? Yeah, this small film. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we're talking about Independence Day 2.
Now we're talking about Stargate.
Yeah, but it's been canned because Independence Day 2 was shit.
So they didn't make another Stargate?
Yeah, they're not making the Stargate.
I'll chime in.
Okay, we're chiming you in now. Okay, wait, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, is he good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Leo on the speakerphone here, chiming in about Independence Day and Stargate and stuff. What your thoughts on the whole Stargate reboot being cancelled, man?
Yeah, I'm down for it, man. Cancel that shit. You can't remake that movie. Listen, I'm tired of remakes. I'm getting a bit tired of it. You can't ruin a perfect movie, and by all accounts, the Stargate movie is a perfect movie, except for one thing. They never explain how they got back from Abydos to Earth. But Independence Day 2, man. It's a sequel, right? Independence Day 3.
That's well, they want to make that, but I'm not sure that will happen.
Right. Man, you know what? Make it. I'm a big Independence Day fan. I like the new one, Resurgence, or whatever the fuck it's called. But,
Resurgence.
I did like it. I was hoping there was a bit more Will Smith in there, but they had just the right amount of Jeff Goldblum, so I was definitely cool with it. Hey, I'm kind of like, I don't mind trying. Sometimes you have to remember, I'm a bit of a fanboy when it comes to Roland Emmerich's work.
Right.
So, I do like his work. I really love Stargate. How do I feel that they cancelled it, man? Big time. I'm glad they cancelled it. Who wants to do a remake of a great film? Just leave it alone. It's like somebody trying to. Obviously, I'm not putting Stargate in the same realm, but trying to remake The Untouchables. Just leave it alone. Leave it untouchable. Just leave it.
Oh, damn. Now that's in the ether. They're gonna think about remaking The Untouchables.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think when just as I said that, I remembered that someone had spoken about it, and dude, sometimes leave well enough alone. I think Stargate needs to just leave Stargate the way it is. They had a great spin-off TV series, and then they did Atlantis, which is another spin-off off the TV series, and then I never watched Stargate Universes. I kind of stopped caring after that point, because I was like, I've had two good TV series out of it, but Independence Day, man, make another one. Fuck it, do it. Throw the budget in, get Will Smith in.
Oh no, Will Smith ain't coming back to this.
Sorry?
Will Smith ain't coming back to this. Remember, he's spoilers. He's dead.
Yeah. I know he's dead, but fucking this flashback thing. Like, just throw like, give him $5 million and just be like, listen, we need you for a day. We have to film a scene. I guarantee you, Fresh Prince will do something for money because he did Iron Legend and that was shit. And they threw a lot of money at that. So, and he's done a lot of other questionable movies. £7, yeah, it's like a one-time watch movie. You know,
yeah.
It's like, I don't even know how much they paid him for that. But give him $5 million, man. Just throw it. That's what they spend on food for the fucking thing. So throw the food budget onto that and just go, yeah, here you go.
Yeah, that's quite good idea, actually.
That's the budget that they give for Prozac for Judd Hirsch. Constantly on that goddamn movie. But yeah, no, I like the sequel resurgence, but a lot of people don't. I can completely understand why people don't. I'm a fanboy, so I do enjoy it. But yeah, just leave well enough alone, man.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for the insight, man. Much appreciated, dude. I'm just gonna pause it and yeah. Yeah, so thank you very much, Leo, for chiming in with your 2 cents on that. But yeah, that's if anyone else is listening and they feel a certain way about it, write in and let us know. Write into us at podcast at zedosgang.co.uk, or just write something on the Twitter page. Yeah, so next one we're going to talk about is Ocean's 8, and Matt Damon reveals that he will reprise his role in as the Ocean's 11 character, Linus Cadwell, and in the upcoming Ocean's 8 film.
Linus.
Oh, sorry, Linus. I thought it was French.
No.
Oh, fair enough. That shows to me that the two worlds. I thought it was like a different universe or a spin-off universe.
No, it's a spin-off, all right.
Sure. Yeah. But I thought it was that thing where, oh yeah, the other one exists, but this is the other one. But yeah, now that he's in it, the Soderbergh films are connected now, and so that makes me more inclined to watch it because I really like the Soderbergh films, even though you thought it got ridiculous. I thought it was the right tone. It was like, okay, well, I see what Soderbergh is doing with this. This is his thing that he returns to get money from.
Doing with it. He was making money.
I loved it. And everyone else loved it because
not everyone, but
anyway. No. In the sense that there was an audience for it all the time.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so it was a thing that all these guys are together again. They look like they're having fun. I had fun with it because they were having fun on screen, and so to me that's bank. And so it'd be good to see what what's her name, Sandra Bullock does with this.
It would be great to see what Gary Welsh does with this. I mean, like, he's actually writing it himself as well, which I find
not sure that's a good idea.
Well, it's the director.
Yeah, sure, but I don't think that's a good idea.
He's a good writer as well. I mean,
really?
Like, well, yeah. I mean, like, look at his filmography. We got Seabiscuit. We got.
You started off with a bad one there.
Why? That's a great movie. It got an Oscar.
Okay.
Pleasantville.
I hate that movie.
Another great movie.
Pleasantville. Yeah, I'll give you Pleasantville.
Yeah. Big.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Big. Guy's been in the business for a while. He does what he wants. I mean, hell, he even did like the remake of Lassie in the 90s.
What's that, Lassie? What's that, Lassie? There's someone buried under the in the courtyard that you want to get us to get the principal and stuff.
And he did. He's done quite a lot of good stuff. I mean, like, sorry, he wrote those movies. Sorry, he wrote Big and Lassie. He didn't direct them. He only started directing when he did Pleasantville, Seabiscuits, and after that he did the Hunger Games.
Oh.
The original Hunger Games. So, and he's written the screenplay for all of those films. So, it's just what he does. He likes to write and direct. And he's a writer first and foremost. So, that says a lot to me about the project, that it's not just, that says a lot more to me than it just being we're getting paid. You know what I mean? Because he wouldn't have stepped up as a writer.
Is Soderbergh still involved in this?
Yeah, he's producer. Him and Clooney are both producing.
Well, he's making films again now, so it's
until he has the next hissy fit.
Yeah, well, I can understand his problem with the film industry, but he always is this like the 5th time he's retired now?
Yeah, something like that.
So I find that astonishing. I'm out of here. Actually, I'm not. But yeah, Matt Damon in this world, yeah, that sounds good to me. I'm more interested in it now than I was before. Before I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a thing. And,
I'm surprised Clooney's not cameoing. I mean, like
we don't know that.
Oh, that's true.
We don't know that. So the fact that these two have worked together, Sandra Bullock is his sister, Daniel Ocean's sister. So they've worked together before in what's that film in space?
Oh, Gravity.
Yeah. So they clearly enjoyed working with each other there. So I guarantee you he'll pop his face in at some point. And if this film's a success, then
they're just gonna pimp it even more.
If it's entertaining, why not?
Well, Clooney's got to direct, so man needs his money wagon. So this is why you should do a Marvel movie, George, because it seems to be working for Chris Evans.
You never know. Do you know what? He might be in a Marvel movie at some point.
That's defecting.
I don't think it is.
That is defecting, George.
I don't think it is.
Anyway.
Okay, so on to the next film, Don't Breathe. And the director of this film, I can't pronounce his name. Can you? Because I can't.
Ved Alvarez.
Yeah, guy. He's doing a sequel to Don't Breathe. And apparently the script is supposed to be freaking amazing, so Sam Raimi says anyway. I saw Don't Breathe with you, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
And I thought, when I saw the trailer, I thought, yeah, it looks good, but is it really that good? And then when I saw it, yeah, it is really that good. It's one of the best. I couldn't even call it a horror film. It's a thriller. Especially towards the end, that gets very disturbing.
Yeah.
If they've got a good idea for a sequel to it, then sure, do it.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think that should have been a one and done film.
Yeah.
And
but
if you've got Sam Raimi going, oh my god, this is great, then yeah, go do it.
Yeah. I mean, Don't Breathe was such an amazing film. And you know what? He did the Evil Dead remake, and that wasn't that bad for a remake. It was for what they were trying to accomplish there. It was quite a really good movie, and he's done a couple of episodes of the Dusk Till Dawn series with Robert Rodriguez, and Don't Breathe was his first film that he did himself as a director. Written and directed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a solid film. It's a really good film. It's a good standalone. If he thinks that he can do a sequel to it, then fine. The only way I could see it is that maybe that old man's trying to hunt her down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
it's going to be a road movie.
Yeah, maybe it turns into a road movie or something. But I don't know, man. Could be interesting. Maybe he breaks into her house. Maybe he breaks into her house.
A bait and switch. Oh, yeah, that'd be absolutely brilliant.
Spoilers, guys. Spoilers. I do apologise, but it's quite. It's interesting.
Well, there's no spoilers really, because we could see in the trailer that they break into his house.
Well, anyway, either way, I'm buying it because they've got the same team. He's obviously written something because he sees it as a sequel. So, yeah, sure. I'm interested to see that when that comes out. They've only just announced it because obviously he's directing the next thing we're about to announce, which is The Girl in the Spider's Web, which he's directing right now. Well, it's in pre-production right now. What's your thoughts on The Girl in the Spider's Web, Joe?
If Daniel Craig wasn't being such a diva about playing a role, I think we would have had this film 2 years ago, 3 years ago even.
I don't think we would have had this film. I think we would have got
film.
we would have got The Girl That Played with Fire.
Sure, but we would have had something. And the fact that we've had to wait this long...
Because he wanted more money.
Sure, yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what I was saying, because he was being a diva about, I want this amount of money, because I'm bored now and I can charge how much I want.
Yeah.
I want this! And if he wasn't doing any of that, I reckon, we would have sort of film much sooner. And due to the fact that once you do establish these people in the film and you say it's a franchise, and people know it's a franchise, do the next one as fast as you can, because people are like, oh, what's this? People forget very quickly, and considering we've got years apart from these films, I is the actress still coming back for it?
They've got no cast listed just yet.
Because I remember she was still on board for doing it, but I just can't remember her name. Yeah, I'm all up for it. Because I never saw the American remake. But I like the Swedish films.
Yeah, the Swedish films are amazing.
It's
Rooney Mara.
Rooney Mara. Okay.
That's the one in the remake, right?
Yeah.
And it's Naomi Rapace in the original. And like, you know what? I watched all the originals. They are really good. I've still yet to see the TV series because I know whether you know, like they did the trilogy, and there's actually a TV series that is called the same name as the paper that the Daniel Craig character works at.
Oh right, the Millennium.
That's it. Yeah. The TV show's called Millennium, and they did a whole. I don't know how many series it ran for, but there's quite a few of them, and you know it's got all the cast from all the films, and it's the same director of the original Swedish films that directs the TV episodes. It's very interesting that they're going a different route with the movies now, because the Girl in the Spider's Web is actually not one of the original Girl and Dragon Tattoo novels that Stieg Larsson wrote. This is actually a continuation of those novels written by somebody else, borrowing the characters. You know, kind of like the Bourne series when the author died and they had someone else write, whatever, like more Bourne adventures and shit. So this isn't part of his works, kind of thing, really. What's interesting is in looking into that author, apparently he has written the next part in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. There's a dispute with his ex-partner that holds the rights to all of his works, and apparently there's a manuscript that has 4 or 5 adventures with those characters, but obviously these guys have decided not to adapt the books like Swedish have. They've gone a different route with it, which I think is probably a good way of doing it if this is a franchise, and maybe we could revisit those other adventures as well. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. Whether Daniel Craig comes back, pay the guy his money. He obviously deserves it to some degree. That's like saying, look, Daniel Craig is Bond, yes. Daniel Craig also gets paid a certain amount of money for a movie. He did not have a free picture deal. It was a come as we go kind of thing. Now, Daniel Craig's worth a lot more than when he did the original picture. That's like telling a graphic designer, we're only going to pay you less than what we paid you on the last job.
It needs to be the same kind of work.
Yeah. And that's just it. You know what I mean? You don't take, from a normal person, you don't take a pay cut. It's like when the Transporter series came out. You know what I mean? We had our Transporter trilogy, whatever, and then he was locked for 3 films. And that's fair enough, but he's a bigger star now. And
they tried to do another one.
Yeah. But did you hear what they want? The reason why they recast Jason Statham.
He was asking too much.
No, he wasn't asking at all. He wasn't asking at all. Basically, they wanted to pay him less than what they paid him before.
What?
And sign him for another 3 movies.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jason Statham did. He's like, okay, good luck with your movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that really went well, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it went really well. It went so well that they're not making them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, if that had been Jason Statham, that would have been butts and seats.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been stingy. Shouldn't have been stingy. They should have paid him what he's worth. And that's what I think happened here to some degree. I think, you know what, he's a very, like we said before, Don't Breathe, fantastic movie, Evil Dead, great movie. You know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see what he does with this, because this is a different genre. You know what I mean? This is a different genre to horror. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see what he does with the girls in with the girl in the spider's web. See how his take on this would be. You know, how he handles it and whatnot. I think it'll be very interesting. You know, in terms of this as a franchise, well, I say, look, Sony, keep the original actors. You know what I mean? Keep them. Pay Craig what he fucking wants. You know what I mean? And fuck, you got those fucking big bucks to pay him what he wants for Bond. You know what I mean? They're only fucking themselves over, because the more they pay him for Bond, the more he wants for this. So, you know, it's their own fuck up, man.
Well, good luck with that. Whoever's directing it. Who's directing this? I guess there's no director.
Same director as Deadpool.
Yes, he said, yeah. I hope he gets what he asked for, because if he doesn't have the talent to work on it, then it's just going to be a bust. Okay, so on to the next story, and that's the main story, which is CG versus practical. Okay, so me and Satch were talking about this before the show started, and I don't know how we got to the conversation, but I thought it was an interesting topic because we've not talked about it on the podcast before, and I think it's still relevant today that people always like to go on about how practical was better, but in some cases, if the practical and CG is good enough, you shouldn't notice it. And so there were a number of films that I only found out quite recently that was either one CG or practical effect, and one being that is still a head scratcher to me was the Attack of the Clones, and all those guys that were in those suits, they're all CG. Yeah, and it doesn't look. You just don't realize it, and that's good CG. The fact that I didn't know, and I was told years later. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I think with the Star Wars films, it's a little bit hard to justify on that factor, and I do get the impressiveness of the work ILM did on the CG suits that they used with the clone troopers. But the thing is, though, those films get scrutinised for the CG because I think the audience are looking at everything else that they're trying to predict that is CG. You know what I mean? Because the Star Wars films like in the prequel era were quite George was a lot more heavily reliant on the CG.
That's to keep the budget down.
But that was to keep their budget down, of course. But at the same time, they had the most amount of practical effects in those films.
There's a lot of practical effects.
They had a lot, especially in Phantom Menace, and a lot of people would be like, "Oh, you're talking shit and stuff, blah blah." But the argument can be made that there's just about as much of practical effects in the Phantom Menace than there is in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. A lot of people would call bullshit on that statement, but if you actually see the amount of miniature work that they did on the Phantom Menace, you'd be very, very surprised.
Oh yeah, we did that with Imran, didn't we?
Yeah, you'd be very, very surprised. And they did a lot of work on the Phantom Menace and on all of those films. But granted, they did push CGI to its limits on those films, but
especially the pod race.
They didn't have to do the pod race in all CG, but they did.
And it looks great. It still looks good today.
It still holds up now. Star Wars films aside, you've got stuff like Jurassic Park, which still holds the depth. Still holds up to today. I actually feel some of the effects in Jurassic Park is a lot better than the most recent Jurassic World. That's mainly because, for me it was the CG flames. You know what I mean? When they go into the park, you got the torches by the big gate.
That was for the trailer.
Yeah, it was in there.
I have to watch it again to see if but I know what you're talking about. But I'm pretty sure that was just in the trailer.
They're better in the film than they were to the trailer, because obviously they had months to work on it. But I felt that could have been done practically. But again, it all depends on a case by case basis on time constraints these studios have to pimp the work out and stuff. Really good CG, like you said, is when it's not noticed and stuff. I'd like to say stuff like I'm just trying to think what is amazing CG to me. what was flawless to me lately?
I would I would say to me,
to be honest, anything Michael Bay does that isn't Transformers, and I use the term isn't Transformers because, again, with the Star Wars films, you're looking for the trick there. But take Bad Boys 2, when they're having that car chase down the freeway, the amount of cars that were CGI to what wasn't, you know what I mean? You couldn't tell. Yeah. You honestly couldn't tell because this is still pre when that became the norm. You know what I mean? And, you know, Bay's he's more of a practical guy than anyone would know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he blows shit up. You know what I mean? He's not going to do a CGI explosion. He's going to put the camera and blow stuff out. And that's what he does in Bad Boys too. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'd say that was a good one. You know, I'd say Mad Max Fury Road had some really great visual effects. Yeah. That's a good one. That was a good mix of practical and CG, and you could not tell the difference. Yeah. You really could not tell the difference. There's a really good special effects breakdown on that film, and it just blows my mind.
Yeah, that the way he filmed that, especially cause he hadn't done a Mad Max film since the 80s. Yeah. So to go straight back into it and just blow it away, yeah. Yeah. Boom. Yeah.
Another example of fantastic CG: Avatar and The Jungle Book. Most recently, The Jungle Book. Yeah. Some of the CGI in The Jungle Book and Avatar are fucking. You couldn't tell. You just couldn't tell. But I mean, you know, in terms of practical effects are always good. Yeah. They're always good. I just think the combination between the two is always a win.
Well, that's the thing. I've never had a problem with CGI. I've had a problem with bad CGI.
Oh yeah, of course.
But
like Mummy Returns.
Oh yeah. That's the golden goose.
That is the golden goose right there. That is just like, oh my god, that's nasty. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But yeah, when I was growing up and saw Jurassic Park, I was like, oh my god, this is what CGI is. This is amazing. And so we are children from the era. That grew up with it. If we were born a couple of decades earlier, we'd be like Quentin Tarantino saying that, nah, this ain't for me. Don't like any of this. I remember what we said to the Wachowskis when Reloaded came out. Yeah. One, you couldn't really do. You could, but from where the Wachowskis were coming from, that standpoint of doing all those Agent Smiths and the notion of that fight, you couldn't do it the way Quentin would want to do it.
Oh yeah.
And use the camera techniques they were using in that. Yeah. There's no way. And Quentin just said, "Yeah, my guys are real. All my stuff's practical. Everything's real. All the shots are real. Yeah, I would never touch CG. I hate screw CGI." Also, he said something to that degree. Yeah. And I just remember kind of resenting that because. They're doing it for a reason. They're not doing it because they have to do it. It's because there's a purpose to it. Yeah. And I'm so, as a filmmaker, I'm so shocked that he didn't understand that. Yeah. And no, but he's stuck in his way. But in terms of practical stuff, I can't. Practical's always good. I mean, the original trilogy Star Wars is something I will go to. I think Akbar was a bit funny to look at, but at the best of times. But
I've got no problem with Admiral Akbar.
No. In terms of almost looking like a Muppet, in the sense of what a Muppet is, right? And it just in my eyes, it almost blurred that line. But if the character wasn't so convincing because he was quite a determined character, Admiral Akbar, and so that's what sold it. Yeah. But if it was, you could easily put that character or that model of that character in Sesame Street, and he's a Muppet. And yeah. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on there. I've got nothing more to say. But I again, bad CG is bad CG, good practical is good practical, and vice versa. If you can work them in tangent. I mean, The Force Awakens
had the best blend, I felt.
Yeah, but everyone's saying, "Oh, that's it's mostly practical. It's mostly practical." But I looked at the breakdown of that. I saw a lot of CG.
Oh yeah, of course.
In that, and so I need to get some of these people that said that onto this podcast.
Yeah.
Because there's no man, it's 90% practical. I don't think so.
I like what you call it, what Favreau did with the original Iron Man, because that was a fantastic blend of the two.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
Build the suit and have CG elements to complement that suit.
Yeah.
But now it's all just completely CG. Robert Downey Jr. could play that role till he friggin' dies, because all he has to do is show up.
Yeah.
And it's just his face.
Yeah.
Or if he wants to, he can be in it. He can be the.
Yeah.
He could be Iron Man, and people will just they'll just build it around it. But. Okay, so old but new, and this week's old but new is Dumb and Dumber, and wow, what a film, Dumb and Dumber. Okay, so this was the Farley brothers' second film, I would like to say. I could be wrong about that, but I know it was one of their first, and this was a masterpiece of what this film shouldn't work with anyone else. I don't think this film would work, but Jeff Daniels and. What's the other guy's name? Jeff Daniels and
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
That dude.
They made that film. I was watching it the other day. Do you know the car trip when what's the most annoying sound ever? Or something like that. And it really is annoying, and that's what makes it so funny. This film is more or less a road trip film. Would you say?
Yeah.
A road trip film comedy. Yeah. But there's so much that happens in this film. It's by best one of the funniest films you will ever see. If even if you're just watching it as a teen or someone in your early 20s, this film is hilarious. It's from start to finish. The basis of why they go on this road trip is hilarious in itself. By the time they get to the end of this road trip, you think. That was a completely wasted journey. Why did I go on this journey with these guys? But it's because it's who they are and the hijinks that they come up against. I don't want to say anything else about the film because I don't want to spoil it. But just trust me in saying that this is one of the funniest films the Farley brothers have ever made. It's from their golden era. I think Kingpin would maybe funnier, but that's arguable. And there's something about Mary. And Me, Myself, and Irene, I would say those are those films are gold. You can't touch the Farley brothers when it comes to that type of comedy. Well, not now, but back then, yeah. And so if you can get this on Blu-ray, stream it, or do however you guys watch films, you need to watch this film if you've not seen it. So that's Dumb and Dumber. Okay, on to films opening this week in the UK. And so we've got Bad Santa, A United Kingdom, Patterson, and Allied. And so I'll go straight to, what's it called? Bad Santa. Yes, Bad Santa. Bad Santa. If you've not seen Bad Santa at all with Billy Bob Thornton, you need to watch that before you watch Bad Santa 2. Because this, I would say this is the most honest I've ever seen Billy Bob Thornton in a film. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was just him. He dressed up as in a Christmas outfit and started swearing and blinding to anyone that came in his way and started having sex with women in front of him. That's Billy Bob Thornton through and through. Not really, but he made it feel so genuine. And he just that's the most genuine thing I've ever seen him in, apart from Fargo. He seemed quite genuine in that as well. But apparently he takes a lot of this of these cues from his father, which is scary. But yeah, Bad Santa 2 is out of this list is one of the ones that I'm looking for. Also is Allied and Patterson. Patterson and Allied is one I'm looking forward to as well. Allied is a Robert Zemeckis film. Oh, sorry, Sach. I've talked all over that. But I really wanted to get to Allied as well, so
okay. No,
I started talking about Allied. But yeah, again, Robert Zemeckis. If you don't know who Robert Zemeckis is, if you've seen Back to the Future or name another film,
Forrest Gump. Back to the Future 2. Okay, so what how are you stuck for Robert Zemeckis? He's directed everything. So Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes.
What's it? Oh shit! What's the Michael Douglas movie?
Oh, Romance in the Stone.
Romance in the Stone, Jewel of the Nile.
Yeah. He's got a good filmography.
Yeah, more recently, A Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did do that. Didn't he? Yeah.
Beowulf. There you go.
Again,
he's done loads. I mean, like Polar Express. I mean, like he did like a lot of CG stuff. You know what? I felt really sorry for him because I really enjoyed The Walk. A lot of people should have seen The Walk. It had.
I never saw that.
It had what's that kid called?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It was really good. That. Yeah, man, that was a really good movie, and no one fucking saw it. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I like
Flight as well with Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
that was like the return to him not doing CGI stuff. You had What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford, where Harrison Ford's actually like a bad dude in that one.
Talk about Allied.
And then like
talk about Allied.
What about Allied?
Talk about it.
Death Becomes Her.
Oh my god! Talk about Allied.
Well, yeah, Allied. Yes, Allied. Who's in it? Oh yeah, Brad Pitt and the bird from
Marion Cotillard.
That's the one. Inception.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this film. Just purely because I've never seen Robert Zemeckis do this type of film before, and so not in my memory anyway. It looks pretty good, and it seems to be reviewing pretty well. So
I'd like him to do a Star Wars anthology.
You probably will at some point.
Yeah, probably.
In all honesty, I'm really looking forward to Ally. I'm really looking forward to it. If you couldn't tell, I was rushing onto it straight away. But I don't know where I was going with this.
Neither do I, Joe.
Allied is a film set in 1942. It's about two intelligence officers. One being which may be a counterintelligence agent working for the Germans, and so what Brad Pitt is married to Marion Cotillard, who is they're both spies, and she's accused of being a German spy, and Brad Pitt has to figure out if she is a double agent within 48 hours, and so that's what hooked me. There's oh wait, he's got to figure out without her knowing that that's Metal Gear Solid stuff, and that's exactly the type of espionage I like, and so that's why I'm looking forward to it, because these are the type of espionage films I would like to make, if I could make them. Hence why I did Pius in the way I made Pius. But yeah. Yeah, so that's the out of all of them, that's the film I'm looking to the most. Patterson. Oh well, first of all, are you looking forward to it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like it looked like a really good trailer. It's directed by John Mush. He did Ghost Dog and Broken Flowers, which are two really good films that I enjoy of his, and Coffee and Cigarettes. He's got like a kind of like style to his work, much similar to the guy that did St. Vincent that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember watching the trailer with Adam Driver in it. Yeah, it looked good, man.
Kylo Ren, let's call him by his real name.
Kylo Ren, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this as well. There's quite a few films I'm looking forward to this week. And he's a poet, he's also a bus driver, and
most poets are bus drivers.
And he's just going through life, I guess. But yeah, it's got that same feel as Broken Flowers has. If you've not seen Broken Flowers, it's great. Go watch it. It's got Bill Murray in it. But yeah, and that brings us on to United Kingdom. And the United Kingdom stars the crazy one from Rosamund Pike. Rosamund Pike.
Yeah, Rosamund Pike. Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought you said something else.
No.
And David Oyelowo. And this is about a story about a black man, a prince, an African prince that marries a British white woman in the 1940s, and it's not seen well by the Africans or the British, and they go through a hell of a time trying to just be with each other, but be a part of their own worlds. They were a statement in the 1940s that doing what they did in the 1940s was not something you did, and so considering that he went back to his country in South Africa, Botswana, and became the king. I believe. I knew he was a prince. It's you take a white woman, a white British woman, to at the time of apartheid. It's tricky at best. So again, this is, as I said before, this is a film that's I think going in with what time we're living in right now. You've got a maniac in the White House, and we've left Europe in the UK, and things are weird at the moment, and so these films are coming out at the right time to remind us that we're part of the world. We're not in a barrier where this is yours, this is mine. We're part of the world, and it's only going to get smaller because we have the internet now. So anyway, I've rambled on about that. Saj, any words?
Good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking forward to this? Do you want to see this film?
What film are we talking about? Allied, yeah?
United Kingdom.
Oh, United Kingdom, yeah, it does look really good. It's directed by, Amar Asha. She used to be on Grange Hill and EastEnders. She's an actress. She's also directed a film called Belle and Way of Life.
Belle's really good.
Oh, okay. I never saw
Belle's really good.
But yeah, she's one to look out for. This one seems to be getting a lot of traction here. The trailer looked really good, really interesting. I've not heard about this story before, so be quite educational and see. David Oyelowo, yeah, I really like this guy. He should be in a lot more stuff. I saw Selma with him where he played Martin Luther King, and phenomenal actor. He's so underrated, and I think he needs to be in a lot more stuff these days, man. Hence,
I mean, with lots of black actors or just actors of colour, it's very hard to get them in the limelight. So yeah. Okay, well, those are the films coming out on the week of November 25th. So go to your local cinema, give it a watch, support your cinema, and watch these films. Film 20 questions. Sach, what have you got for me?
I've got a film.
If anyone doesn't know how this works, Sach has written down the name of a film. I think he has anyway, and it's I have 20 guesses to guess what this film is through asking Sach questions about what he has written down. All he can say is yes or no to it in general. So, are you ready?
Yep, ready.
Okay. Does this film have? Is this film set in my timeline? Is it set in? It's not a film set in the 40s.
Yeah.
Okay, that was made in the 40s. Okay, set in my timeline. Okay, so action film.
No.
Famous director.
No.
Okay. Ensemble cast. Does it have an ensemble cast?
Yes, it does.
Okay, fantastic. Does it have a famous composer composing the music for it?
I'm not too sure. Let me just find out real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, the reason I asked that is because sometimes you can get a clue from who has written music for a particular film and who usually works with directors. So from that you can get the back door into what the film possibly...
Not really. I've never heard of this guy, but I will say the score is pretty iconic.
Okay. Has this composer done a lot of music?
Yeah, he's done a lot of films.
Okay.
A lot of films.
Okay.
Wow. He's still doing films now.
Oh wow, okay. So
I wouldn't say he's a John Williams.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Right. Okay.
Would I don't know, because some of these films, now I'm looking at these films, I'm like, yeah, I remember that tune and this tune, but anyway.
Okay. Okay. So ensemble cast, semi-famous composer, and it's not an action film. Is this film a romantic comedy?
Nope. Although there is romance and comedy.
Ah.
A dash of action, but I would not put the action as that it's an action movie, if that makes sense.
Okay. Is this a Warner Brothers film?
Yes.
Okay. Doesn't narrow it down, but I thought I'd ask anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Does it have... Does everyone die at the end of the film?
No, it doesn't. No, they
don't. Is Bruce Willis in this film?
No, he is not.
Is Kiefer Sutherland in this film?
No.
Okay. I'm going to stop naming actors now. Actually, is Julia Roberts in this film?
No.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised by a name who is in this film, but I'm not going to say who.
Okay. Is this a sci-fi film?
Nope.
So it's got to be drama.
Nope.
Comedy?
Yes.
Okay. A comedy from the 90s?
80s and possibly 90s. 80s.
Okay.
This particular one, 80s.
Okay. Right.
But from that statement, that is a hint.
It really isn't. But
okay, here's a clue. There's more than one of these. It is a franchise.
Is this film Police Academy?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. So it was.
Did I give it away with franchise or
no?
No.
I was going into the realms of thinking that when you said when you said it was a comedy.
Yeah. I
was going into you said it was a series. So Police Academy is always in the back of my mind anyway.
Yeah.
So it was one of those, okay, spur of the moment. It's a Police Academy that I can scratch it off the list.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
So yeah. I'd like them to do a new one.
In fact, if there's anything that's needs in need of a reboot, I would say is that.
Yeah.
And so
it's a brand new cast.
Yeah.
They don't even have to reboot it. They could have some of the old cast cameo as like their same characters, but just a brand new.
There's not many of them left.
I know, right? But then they've still got bloody
Steve Guttenberg.
They still got not him. They still got Captain Harris.
No, he's dead.
No, he's not. He's still working. Today.
Oh yeah, he's on that show.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the guy with the goldfish bowl.
No, he's dead.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. He's on that show.
So they could bring him back and him doing his and make him the commandant finally.
Wow.
And then
that'd be interesting.
He'd just be like a dick and like, you know what I mean? Then just They got to bring back his little underling though.
He had a couple, didn't he? He
had one main one.
Tractor.
Yeah.
That's what I think. It started getting bad after the fourth one. Because I did like the third one.
Yeah.
Was that Citizens on Patrol?
No, that was the fourth one.
Okay.
No, you're right.
I can't. They all start to blend into each other once you get the numbers get higher. I know Mission to Moscow. Was that the last one? Mission to Moscow.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. Well, okay, guys. Well, thank you, Sach. Thank you, listeners. If you want to write in or make a comment, write into podcast@zedosgame.co.uk and write in with anything you want to write, really. To say how good the show or bad the show was, or to say that I need to be replaced or whatever. But either way, feel free to write in. You can also write on the Twitter page or the Facebook page. And we are also on Stitcher Radio and iTunes. So if you're going to listen to it, if you listen through iTunes, please rate the show. Give it a kind of life on iTunes so I can see who I'm getting to. And do the same on YouTube as well. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Sach, where can we find you?
Sachman3 on Twitter.
And you can find me on the Zedos Game page, I guess, on Twitter and on Facebook. Okay, well, thanks again, listeners. Next week we may have a special guest, I'm not sure. Hopefully it may get Guy back, Guy Lapointe. And so if you've been missing him and his antics, he'll be back soon. Again, thank you for listening. This has been the Zedos Game podcast, and we're out.